mainly web development is what I've done. I've been a full stack developer for 18 plus years or so, I'd say. So I started off with PHP. Back that was a hot, tech stack with jQuery, obviously.
Hmm.
Then I went to Scala. That was interesting. Never even
Yeah.
heard of Scala, so I got hired to do that, which used the
I think I think I've heard
yeah.
of
So
that.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like Spring or Spring Boot, kind of the same philosophy, just with Scala. Scala is not really meant to be a web programming language. It's great for like crunching lots of numbers really really fast, but it's not really meant to really serving up stuff very well. Anyways, so I went from there C sharp to all JavaScript stack, so like Node, React, and a bunch of other JavaScript libraries, to Python, to Flutter. Now I'm doing Laravel, which is PHP, and Vue.js. So that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah.
While doing Vues. Vue is definitely coming all the way back to PHP, just make the big full circle. Yeah. Pays the bills. Makes it a lot easier than regular plain old PHP does. There's like
Yeah.
just a lot
I
of stuff you
bet.
just really don't have to think about. It's really, I feel like, I think his name's Tyler, went really heavy with like Ruby on Rails thought process. Like, we'll make this
Okay.
easy as
Yeah.
possible for people to use. Granting, you still like write a lot of your own, plain PHP when we do, obviously, because it doesn't do everything. But
Yeah, I do a lot with Django, so I'm sure it's kind of similar. Kind of
Django,
just
yep.
takes a lot of the drudgery out of it, and you're starting kind of on second base, maybe if not third, so you don't have to do a lot of the plumbing is all handled for you, which makes it go a lot faster for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was doing Django at my last job. It was Django REST framework is what we're doing
Yep,
basically.
that's what we do too. It's
Yeah.
just Vue.js with Django REST framework, and we're recently doing some stuff with Firebase and Firestore that makes it interesting because then it's like there's just the front end and a
Mm-hmm.
database that talks JSON, and that's pretty slick.
It is, and it's pretty neat though too. I guess being the government, I guess it'd be kind of scary as well too. But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
That's cool, man. No, that's also. Yeah, I figured we nerd out just a little bit. Some text because like I bring it up to other people, and other people kind of look at me kind of funny. It's like I was like, I work really hard to be lazy, and they're like, well, they always laugh. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, so from like a programmer's perspective, like we work really hard to get this one feature done, so we don't ever have to touch it again.
yeah, yeah.
It's just, and I feel like that's kind of brewing in a way too. Like you may tweak a recipe and tweak to finally get to a point like, when I think I have it. I'm not changing this no
Mhm.
more. I'm gonna keep doing this over and over again the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
way.
Yeah, and I try to. I mean, it's interesting. I think one of the things that I is a parallel for me, at least between brewing and programming, is in technology. There's always something new to learn. There's always something new to try.
Oh
There's
yeah.
always a different way to do things, and so it kind of keeps you engaged in the same way with brewing. Like you could live 1,000 years and never brew every style, everything you want to do, and all the different things. So it's and I don't know if I want to dive into this yet, but we can see where this goes. But I also kind of apply the just what you're saying, the be lazy tech mindset to part of my brewing. I don't want to push button automated everything because then what are you doing? You might as well
Oh
just go
no,
buy
that'd be
some beer.
boring. Yeah.
But I do leverage on the Brewzilla. I do leverage the automation stuff pretty heavily in the Brewzilla and the
Oh.
wrapped ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
because then I can kind of plan out ahead of time kind of what I want the brew day to look like and what temperatures I want to have everything be at when. And then
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm not going to miss anything. I'm not going to get distracted because sometimes we brew with the brew tubers, we'll brew together on a
Mm.
video call. And it's like if I'm just sitting there talking, like, oh, I was supposed to do something. If you have that all planned out ahead of time, it alerts you, hey, you got to put your hops in, or if it needs to change temperature after a certain amount of time, it
Mm.
just kind of does it, and it makes the brew day for me less stressful. And I'm not sitting there punching buttons the whole time. It just kind of does its thing, and occasionally if you have all that stuff planned programmed in, it's like, well, it's not quite working how I want. You can still go in and mess with
I'll
it, but
manually
it's a good
override
way
it.
for me to take some stress out of the brew day that I think is pretty fun. Some people hate that stuff, but I really get a kick out of it.